all we can do is look to our support areas. That's all we can do. All we can do is look to our support areas. So let's remove some of the noise here. Let's remove some of the noise here because we've got some weekly bearish RSI resistance, and I don't like that. It's on the weekly, it's on a higher time frame. And then if we look at things like the S&P 500, even to a larger degree, ETFs, the home builders ETF, we've come down and broken some of these weekly swings, right? We've broken down some of these lows here, and we're coming down. So we've broken down off of this high, which was previously used as support here. Okay, we've broken down past it. We've still got some time before it closes, but like we've broken down. I don't personally like that. But that's like real estate. And if we have a look at the S&P 500, we're just having a pullback. Nothing major, but it's crazy on the altcoins. Nothing crazy. We still haven't closed below this swing here. Let's take it off this magnet. We still haven't closed below this swing, so that's fine. Certain 50% are holding, macro 50% are holding, certain highs are holding, certain troughs are holding, so that's fine. We're still in a macro uptrend, but we are seeing signs of a pullback, as you all know. We're all seeing signs of a pullback. Okay, and we all know, right? You want to focus on the land and economic cycle. This is my theory, right? Which I kind of garnered from some of the people that I've learned from. Land and economic cycle is much more larger and important than the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is obviously more important than the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is certainly more important than crypto, you know, and Bitcoin is more important than altcoins, right? So if you're looking at it on a macro time frame, you know, these are the things that you kind of want to focus on a macro time frame, right? To determine which sort of cycle you're in. That's me. I've got my thesis, I've got my plan, and I try my best to stick to it, but it ain't easy. Okay, cool. Back to Bitcoin and where our targets are. Cool. All we can do, let's get rid of some of these fibs right here and show you where I'm getting these fibs from and what I'm doing. All right, cool. Price discovery mode. First thing, I'm going to drop a fib. I'm going to back out my fib on this one of the swings here. Come over here, fib retracement, get it on this low. Okay, you can see with this line here, it helps me draw out my fibs and where the lows are. So this is on a weekly time frame. I'm going to do that. So trough to peak right here. My levels that I like to look at is the 50% and the 618, and the 50% comes in at 83k here on the weekly. Let me see if there's anything different on the monthly. Yes, it is. And look at this. Like, look how long we've been going up. 1, 2, 3 months. That was the 4th month right here. It was December. It hasn't closed yet, but 4 months going up. Okay, now don't get me wrong. Bitcoin can go up for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. All right, but you know, we're kind of getting overextended here. Bitcoin's done something similar in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 5 months. Okay, when we was breaking out of the bear market. So you just want to pay attention. Pay attention to that 4 months and beyond. All right, we'll look at dates at another time. Let's look to our support levels because I know that's what people might be freaking out a bit by. So we got that 83k on the monthly. Have we got any confluence on the sorry, that was the weekly, 83k on the weekly. Let's have a look to see if there's any confluence on the monthly. Let's bring it up, peak to trough there. So our 50% here comes in at 78k, which is also roughly around the golden ratio. So this area is quite significant here, right? That area there is quite significant. This 618 on the weekly is quite significant. We're going to zoom in a little bit on the daily and see what we can see. Now, what I have here is the horizontal levels, right? I like to pay attention first and foremost to things like the 50% and the golden ratio, okay, of a swing, right? I like to focus. I think that's more important than the horizontal levels that I'll put in. But I think the horizontal levels are more important than the trend lines or the diagonals that I put in. Okay, so that 50% level that I just gave you here, I find that more important than the horizontals that I'll put in. And I find the horizontals more important than the trend lines and these yellow lines that I get in. All right, because these move a lot of the time. Those horizontals and everything, people manipulate them, move them around. a lot more. And obviously I put time more important than any of those. Time and the cycle that we're in more important than any of those things. All right, so where are our levels? Let's draw them out. So that's our high right here. All right, this white line that's coming across here. This is our horizontal level. There's our other horizontal level gathered from that swing here, and we're just paying attention at the moment to this area right on Bitcoin. We want to back out a fib on that because I want to know where the 50% of that area is. 50% of that trading range. Now we've lost this 50% and we at the moment lost the 618. That's fine. That's not a problem at all. So our next areas of support come down at about, where's this, 92k, all the way down to 88.7. I don't know if we're going to get there, but this is something you might want to consider. It's likely that we'll get some type of bounce coming in anytime soon. We've already come to the 618. Okay, the day hasn't closed, so very likely we'll get some sort of push anywhere around from here to there. I'd be quite surprised if Bitcoin comes and dumps below here like that, and then closes a weekly more than one bar outside of here. Okay, I'd be quite surprised if it closed 1 week outside of here, and if it does, you've got those levels below, and these are places where you find me. These are where you find my bids. I'll see you down there. I like to put bids on deep retracements, otherwise I don't get in. Now some things I'll trade, don't get me wrong, some things I'll trade within that trading range for my trading portfolio, but for like a longer term portfolio, you'll see me down here 77Ks. You'll see me down here, way down here. Maybe we come back down, get a big test if it's still within the cycle. Okay, if it's still within the cycle, catching the retest of that trend line on a larger time frame, or these highs here, probably not that low there, but maybe this high here to retest that at 73k, 618. You'll catch me here. I'll put bids down here. I haven't done it yet, but I'll put bids down there. Cool. So that's me, but it depends on where you are. I probably wouldn't sell right now if I was in a bunch of alts that I didn't want to be on. I'd wait for a bounce, because maybe Bitcoin bounces around here and then comes up and pushes up to the 50%, and then I would look to restructure my portfolio or get out. I wouldn't come out after this, 1 to 3 days down. We can probably expect, I know Jason Pizzino talks about a 3 days down signal, meaning we're due for a much longer, at least consolidation area where we at least go sideways or down. It's a change of trend. Okay, it is a cool tool. He has blatantly showed it, and it is dope. It's likely that we at least go into some consolidation for a long time. So it might be a period where you need to come away from your screen for a little while. So what do you want to do in that scenario if that is the case? And that's what you want to think about. But yeah, so that's the levels that I'm looking for Bitcoin. For me, I will only be trading in terms of the risk curve, Solana at the most, maybe near at the most for short-term trades. But like for longer-term portfolios, it'll probably be Sol, ETH, and Bitcoin. But mainly, I think I'm willing to go on the higher risk curve if I'm putting down some bids way down lower. So in my case, it'll be ETH. In my case, I think I'm likely to put in on ETH. And where is ETH on those levels? Look at that, coming down to the 50%. Which 50% is that? Because I've already got it on my charts. So that's a 5-day 50% level right there, already touching that. I think I've already got an order that might have kicked in there. I'll definitely have a layer in strategy from here. So I'll be layering in. And I'll be layering into something a bit more safer. I wouldn't want to see it come down to this area here, to be honest with you. I don't want to see it enter this sort of area, this too. I don't want to, because it means we'll be waiting for a longer time for it to push back out. Yeah, I'll be waiting for a longer time for it to push back out because we've got this weekly swing here. But you'll see me down there. You'll see me down there with a couple of bids down there, definitely, because we do have a trend line down here at the 2.5s and the monthly swing. You'll see some bids down there. Will it get hit? Unlikely, but you never know. You never know. When you do catch ones like this, it feels so good. It feels so good. But for my trading portfolio, I will catch some down here. I'll catch some down here. But a larger time portfolio, you'll see me down here. So yeah, good luck with that. Total 4-6%. ETH's dropping quite more. than total free. Let's have a look at some of these altcoins that I'm watching. Arbitrum going down, Atom 10%, fucking hell. Bonk, memes getting hit, I guess. FET 10%, 11 Injective. I expect a bounce. $4 for near. Wow, and it's coming back down to its trend line. Okay, it's actually coming down to its trend line. That's not a bad place to bid for near, to be honest with you. This isn't a bad place to put in a bid, a cheeky bid. And I would layer in at this point to down here and maybe to these lows down here at $3. Yeah, $3. I'd layer in from now to here, $3, and see if I could catch something. Stop loss nice and tight. But I do have my fib levels here. Dates, I've got a trend-based fib in terms of dates, and this here is on the 31st of December. That's why I've got that here. Look at this, the 618 and 50% on that particular date. Fantastic. So maybe if I was thinking about time, I'd wait until after Christmas. But a cheeky bid in here would probably be nice. Things like Nasana, like some of these riskier altcoins, they are dropping. They are dropping below these significant levels. Haven't closed yet though. They haven't closed yet. So it might be time to jump in on some trades right now, to be honest with you. But good luck with it. If you're scared but you want to be in the market, I would wait for a bounce. I particularly would wait for a little bounce, catch a little bounce. And then if you're scared and you want out of the market, but you don't want to sell off too much, then jump into something that's less riskier. Jump into a Bitcoin, jump into a Sol, jump into an ETH. And if you jump into a BNB, they're likely to hold out a little bit better. Look at BNB. BNB's dropped 4% versus something like Arweave, which is 11%. Okay, so if you still want access to the market, but you don't want to cash out totally, jump into something a bit more safer. Okay, when things are going down, sometimes it's just best to just say, hey, I'm jumping out of the market. Maybe I take 50% out and put it. I still want exposure to the market. 50% Bitcoin, 50% USDT. But be careful. Gauge how you would feel after it. But yeah, that's me waffling on today. I hope you have a good day. But then again, these are my thoughts, and what do I know? Have a good day.